This morning we're talking about love and relationships, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that everyone can learn something on those topics. Our author and relationship expert, Kenny Pugh, joins us this morning to share some advice. Good morning.
Good morning.
So love, relationships is a big topic, so I know everyone probably can learn something. How do we even, I guess we'll just kind of start off with, talk about single. I mean, is that kind of a new normal nowadays?
Yeah, one of the things that we're experiencing is because people are pursuing their careers and education a lot more, people are waiting until later in life to get married, and so thus single is becoming the new normal, unfortunately. But as people are trying to take their businesses and their careers off the ground, they're spending a lot more time focusing in those areas.
And that may not be a bad thing. It just kind of depends on the person, right?
Yeah, that's correct. But one of the things about waiting until you get a little bit older, as you begin to pursue your careers and education, you get set in your ways. And so people are experiencing a little more turbulence when it comes to now trying to merge their life into the life of someone else. And so that's where it becomes problematic.
And then, of course, when you merge your life with someone else, it's not just a person and a person loving each other. You're bringing everything with you in the relationship, your past, your financial status. Kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you get married in your late teens or early 20s, you really don't have anything that you're bringing to the table except the love that you express and share with one another. But as you wait until later in your lives, you have the additional education, thus additional money, assets, and then some life experiences like you mentioned. And so you're starting to bring children and some of the habits that you've already formed in your life for those years. And so it makes it a little more challenging trying to merge your life with the life of someone else.
And of course, it's not cheap to merge your life with someone else. You got weddings and marriage, and just kind of talk about that. I mean, how much did you spend on a wedding? Yeah,
it's interesting. What I'm learning, because I'm also a money coach as well, I help people that are trying to merge their lives together from a financial and a relationship perspective. People are trying to plan these elaborate weddings and not realizing that in focusing on the wedding, the event, they start to neglect the relationship. And so we have people that are planning these elaborate, multi-thousand-dollar weddings, but then after the event is over with, they look at each other the next morning like, okay, what do we do now? So one of the struggles and one of the challenges that I like to place in front of people is have a great event, spend time, invest in the event and the experience for your guests, but also don't neglect to continue to sow into the relationship so that you have a healthy marriage long term.
And this is a lot of great advice. We're just touching barely on what you have to say. Tell us a little bit about this book where you kind of go into more detail about your relationship advice.
Yeah, I wrote this book called Can You Do It Standing Up? A Different Position on Relationships.
That's an attention grabber.
A lot of people get caught off guard by the title, but basically it's saying that we live in a sexually charged and sex-driven society. And in doing so, a lot of people are making long-term marital decisions based off of how someone can make them feel sexually. And I want people to kind of withdraw from that perspective and that thinking and to start to think about how people are assets in their lives standing up. So can you do it standing up? Will you be there to cheer me on standing up? Can you be there to listen to me when I'm going through challenges standing up? And so can you be there? Can you be that asset in my life standing up and not just be someone that can satisfy me sexually?
Well, thank you so much, Kenny, for joining us this morning. You had a lot of great advice there. And if you want to learn more about Kenny or about his book, you can check him out online. That's kennypugh.com.